Let's be honest. There's nothing more frustrating than sending a text, seeing it marked read, and then silence. Hours pass, days. You start wondering if you said something wrong, if she lost interest, or worse, if she's already talking to someone else. But here's the brutal truth most men don't want to hear. She didn't stop replying because of what you texted. She stopped because of how you're showing up as a man. See, women don't ghost randomly. They disconnect when they feel the energy shift. When your messages start chasing instead of leading. When your confidence gets replaced with validation seeking. When your attention becomes too predictable, too available, too easy, that's when she pulls back. Not because she doesn't like you, but because you've stopped giving her something to feel. Men today think communication means constant texting. It doesn't. A woman doesn't fall for your words. She falls for your presence, your emotional control, your energy. And until you master that, until you stop texting from a place of fear and start leading with calm certainty, she won't feel the pull to text you back. What I'm about to share with you in this video isn't a trick or a texting hack. It's something deeper. It's about understanding what truly makes her respond, not just to your texts, but to your energy. Because once you shift this one thing, she won't just text back, she'll chase the conversation. 1. Stop texting first, all the time. Here's the thing most men don't realize. When you're always the one texting first, you're unconsciously telling her, I have nothing else going on, you're the center of my attention. And that's the exact moment she starts to lose interest. Women are not attracted to men who chase attention. They're drawn to men who seem centered, composed, and a little unpredictable. Constantly texting first removes all of that mystery. It shows her you're waiting around, and that's never attractive. It's not about playing games, it's about balance. When you always initiate, she never gets a chance to invest in you. She never has to wonder what you're doing or if you're thinking about her. And that curiosity, that tiny bit of uncertainty, is what keeps attraction alive. Think about it. When she doesn't text back, what's the first thing you do? You overthink, right? You question what you said and maybe even send another message. But from her side, that looks like emotional weakness. A man who can't hold his own silence looks insecure. And insecurity kills attraction faster than anything. The truth is, you don't have to be constantly available to prove your interest. Sometimes saying nothing says more than any text could. Give her space to reach out. Give her room to miss your energy. Because when she realizes your world doesn't revolve around her, she'll start to crave being part of it again. Texting should be like a dance, not a chase. You step forward, she steps back. You let her come forward next. That rhythm creates tension, and tension is what fuels attraction. The moment she feels like she already has you, the excitement dies. So stop being the man who's always starting the conversation. Be the man who creates enough emotional value that she wants to start it. Because when you stop chasing, she starts noticing. 1. Example. Let's say you text her good morning every single day. At first, she appreciates it. But after a while, it becomes routine, predictable. Instead, skip a day or two. Let her wonder what happened. Let her reach out with a, hey, where's my good morning text? That's not manipulation. That's creating space for her to invest back. 2. Silence is more powerful than double texts. Men often underestimate the power of silence. The moment she doesn't reply, panic sets in. You start thinking, maybe she didn't see it, or maybe she lost interest. So what do most guys do? They send another text, then another, and each one silently screams, I need your attention. But here's the thing. Silence speaks louder than any message you could send. When you stop reacting to her lack of response, you immediately shift the power dynamic. You go from chasing her attention to commanding respect. Because silence communicates confidence, patience, and emotional control, 3 things women instantly feel, even through a phone screen. Double texting, on the other hand, does the exact opposite. It shows neediness. It tells her you're waiting for her approval to feel okay about yourself. And once she senses that, she loses respect. Because a woman doesn't want to be your source of validation. She wants to feel like she's earning your attention. Your silence should not come from anger or ego. It should come from understanding your worth. You are not ignoring her. You are allowing her to notice your absence. And believe me, when a man goes silent, it echoes louder than any desperate text. Women are emotional creatures. They feel deeply, and when they sense your calm detachment, they start to question, Why isn't he reacting? Did I lose him? Did I push him away? That's when she starts thinking about you again. That's when she texts back. So next time she doesn't reply, resist that urge to fill the silence. Let it work for you, because silence, when used with self-respect, is not weakness. It's strategy. 1. Example. You text her something light, maybe a joke or a question. She reads it, but hours go by with no response. Instead of double texting, you do nothing. The next day, she checks her phone, expecting another message. But there's nothing. That moment creates tension, curiosity, a little confusion. Suddenly, she's the one wondering what you're thinking. That's the power of silence, and it makes her chase clarity. 3. She feels your desperation, even through text. You might think desperation is something you can hide, that if you word your messages right or sound chill, she won't notice. But the truth is, she always feels it. Women are incredibly intuitive. They pick up energy more than words. Even through a screen, they can tell when a man is texting from confidence and when he's texting from fear. You know that feeling when you're waiting for her reply and you keep checking your phone every few minutes? That anxious energy seeps into your tone. It shows up in the way you text too quickly, over-explain, or send messages just to keep the conversation alive. That's not connection, that's chasing validation. And here's the reality most men won't admit. The moment you start seeking her response to feel good about yourself, she loses attraction. Because your energy shifts from, I'm a man in control of my life, to please like me. You can't fake calm confidence. It's something she feels. Think about it. When you're genuinely busy, focused on your goals, and texting her from a place of abundance, you type differently. You don't overthink every word. You don't rush replies. You're not trying to impress. You're simply being you. That relaxed, masculine energy is magnetic. She senses it instantly. But when you start worrying about what she's thinking or trying to say the right thing, that energy changes. Your words might still look confident, but they feel needy. And women respond to how you make them feel, not what you say. Desperation isn't just about texting too much, it's about energy. It's when you're emotionally available before she's even earned it. It's when you want her more than you respect yourself. It's when your happiness depends on her reply. You have to remember, attraction isn't built through pressure. It's built through presence. When you're calm, grounded, and focused on yourself, she feels it. When you're anxious and overinvested, she feels that too. So stop trying to force a response. Stop trying to make her like you. Focus on living in a way that makes you proud, and let your energy speak for you. Because when you stop texting from desperation, that's when she starts feeling your value. 4. You're too available, and she knows it. Let's be real for a second. A lot of men have forgotten what mystery feels like. You meet a woman, you like her, and suddenly she becomes your whole schedule. You're replying instantly, canceling plans, and making yourself free the moment she texts. Then you wonder why she starts losing interest. Here's the truth. You're too available, and she feels it. Women are not attracted to men who drop everything for them. They're drawn to men who have something going on, men with direction, men who are focused on their mission. When you make her your main focus too soon, she sees it for what it is, desperation disguised as devotion. And I'll say this directly, bro, you need to wake up. You are not showing loyalty, you're showing need. There's a difference between being interested and being obsessed, constantly being there, always saying yes, always texting first, always waiting on her next move. That's not attractive, that's predictable. Every time you make yourself too accessible, you remove the challenge. And the moment there's no challenge, there's no excitement. Women don't want a man they can control. They want a man they can respect, a man whose time means something. When you're always available, you send one loud message. I have nothing better to do than wait for you. And that kills attraction faster than any wrong text could. You become background noise. Always there, always ready, never missed. So here's your wake-up call. Get your life back. Stop pausing your purpose for temporary attention. Build yourself so solidly that she feels lucky to have a piece of your time. Because a man who values himself doesn't chase availability, he creates scarcity. When you're focused on your goals, working on your body, your mind, your money, you naturally become less available. And that space makes her notice. It makes her think. It makes her wonder what's got your attention. Being too available doesn't make her love you faster. It makes her value you less. So step back, not out of ego, but out of respect for yourself and for the attraction you're trying to build. Because if you keep being too easy to reach, one day she won't feel the need to reach out at all. 5. Mystery attracts, predictability kills it. Let's talk about one of the biggest reasons men lose women's interest. You've become predictable. She already knows what you'll text, when you'll text, and what you'll say. You've stopped being exciting and started being expected. And once a woman can predict every move you'll make, the game is over. Not because she's cruel, but because she's no longer emotionally stimulated. See, women crave curiosity. They're drawn to what they can't fully figure out. That's why she was so hooked in the beginning. You were different. You didn't text too much, you weren't trying too hard, and your presence felt rare. But somewhere along the line, you got comfortable. You started giving her all your time, all your energy, and all your attention. You became available on demand, and the mystery vanished. Here's what most men don't get. Mystery isn't about playing games, it's about self-control. It's about not revealing everything too soon. It's about letting her wonder what you're doing, what you're thinking, and why you're not constantly chasing her. That's what keeps her emotionally invested, the not knowing. When you're unpredictable in the right way, she feels alive around you. She's curious, alert, and intrigued. But when you're predictable, she relaxes. And not in a good way. She stops caring, because there's no excitement in what's certain. Men today think being an open book is attractive. It's not. It's comfortable, yes. But comfort doesn't build attraction. Mystery does. You don't need to lie or hide anything. You just need to stop giving her everything up front. Leave space for imagination. Let her wonder why you're busy. Let her notice that you don't respond immediately. Let her feel that you have a life outside of her, because that's what keeps her chasing. That subtle, emotional tension that makes her want to know more. Predictability feels safe, but safety doesn't spark desire. If she can already guess your every move, she's mentally checked out. So keep a little bit of your world unknown. Stay focused, stay grounded, stay mysterious. Not because you're trying to manipulate her, but because you value your energy enough not to hand it out like it's free. Remember this, mystery isn't about confusion, it's about curiosity. And curiosity is what keeps her coming back. 6. Attention is her drug. Don't overdose her. You want to know one of the hardest pills for most men to swallow? Your attention is the most powerful thing you own. But too many men give it away like it costs nothing. You text too much, compliment too much, check in too much, and then you wonder why she stops appreciating it. Here's the truth. Attention works like a drug. The more she gets it, the less she feels it. At first, your messages, your interest, your energy, it excites her. But when it becomes constant, it loses its impact. What once made her smile becomes background noise. And that's where most men go wrong. They think more attention will make her like them more. But in reality, the more you give, the less it's worth. When something is rare, it's valuable. When it's everywhere, it's disposable. Women don't fall for men who drown them in attention. They fall for men who make them earn it. When you constantly pour your energy into her, she doesn't see it as effort. She sees it as normal. And when something becomes normal, it stops being exciting. Let's be honest, men today act like attention is free. You scroll her stories, like every post, reply to every little thing, and think you're being supportive. But from her perspective, it's predictable. She doesn't even have to wonder if you're interested. She already knows. And once that curiosity dies, attraction follows right behind it. You have to learn how to ration your energy. Not because you're playing games, but because you understand value. You are the prize too. When your attention becomes selective, it becomes powerful. It hits differently when it's earned, not handed out. And that's the shift you need to make, from giving your attention freely to making it mean something. When she realizes you're not like every other man who can't stop chasing her, she starts craving your time again. So remember, attention is her drug. Give her just enough to feel it, but never so much that she stops needing it. Because when you control your attention, you control the dynamic. And that's when she starts chasing yours. Conclusion. Here's the part most men don't want to hear. And yes, it's going to sound controversial. Women don't actually want your constant attention. They want your absence to have meaning. Read that again. Because it's not your texts, your gifts, or your effort that make her value you. It's the space between them. It's the tension, the curiosity, the wondering what you're doing when you're not showing up for her. That's what keeps her emotionally hooked. Most men think love means availability. It doesn't. Love dies when there's no polarity, when there's no mystery left. A woman doesn't fall for the man who gives her everything. She falls for the man she can't fully figure out, the one who makes her feel something she can't explain. And that's where most of you lose. You start acting like her attention is the reward, when in reality, your presence is. You have to stop begging for connection and start creating it by being the kind of man who doesn't need it to feel whole. Now, I want to hear from you, seriously. Drop a comment below and tell me your story. Have you ever felt a woman pull away after you gave her too much attention? How did you handle it? I'll be reading and responding. I want to connect with you guys personally, hear what you've experienced, and help you navigate this with confidence. And in the next video, we're going even deeper. We'll talk about why the woman who's ignoring you now might actually be the one testing your strength. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one.